Zaron was raised in a strict Christian home, where modesty, discipline, and fear of God were the pillars of her upbringing. From childhood, she knew the scriptures, sang in the choir, and was admired for her beauty and confidence. But as she grew older, something inside her began to change. She had a boyfriend, Daniel, who loved her deeply. They had been together for years, and everyone believed marriage was only a matter of time. Yet, Zaron's heart began to drift, not toward another young man, but toward someone unexpected. Pastor Richard. He was respected, charismatic, and deeply spiritual. His words carried power, and his presence commanded attention. To Zaron, he became more than a man of God, he became an obsession. At first, it was subtle. She began dressing differently to church, more revealing, more attention-grabbing. Each Sunday, she would sit where he could see her clearly, smiling softly whenever their eyes met. She volunteered for activities that brought her close to him. Sometimes, she visited his home under the pretense of seeking guidance. But Pastor Richard remained firm. He treated her kindly but distantly, never crossing boundaries, never entertaining her intentions. Still, Zaron was not a woman who accepted defeat. One Sunday, she walked into church dressed boldly, more daring than ever before. Heads turned. Whispers followed. Even during service, her presence was distracting, but not to Pastor Richard. He continued preaching, unshaken. After the service, she waited for counseling. Alone with him, she tried again, soft words, lingering looks, calculated movements. But again, he refused to fall. That was the day something darker took root in her heart. Frustrated and consumed by desire, Zaron sought help, not from God, but from the river. Deep in secrecy, she visited a spiritualist known for granting dangerous desires. There, she was given a charm, something powerful, something unnatural. But with a warning. This path will cost you more than your will. Zaron didn't care. From the moment Pastor Richard encountered her again, something changed. His resistance melted. His discipline weakened. And soon, he fell. What began as stolen glances turned into secret meetings. Secret meetings turned into a hidden relationship. Before long, Zaron's influence over him grew stronger, unnaturally strong. Then she made her demand. "Send your wife and children away." Grace cried. She begged. She reminded him of their years together, their vows, their children. But Pastor Richard was no longer himself. He sent them away. Zaron moved in. At first, it felt like victory. They lived together, bound by what seemed like intense, undeniable love. But outside, the church began to crumble. Members whispered. Some left. Others stayed, confused and heartbroken. How could a man of God fall like this, they wondered. Years passed. Then came the silence no one expected. Zaron could not bear children. Slowly, Pastor Richard began to change. The affection faded. Irritation replaced love. Every small thing became a problem. Zaron knew why. The charm was fading. Desperate, she returned to the river. This time, the warning was stronger. If you go further, you may lose everything, even your life. But fear had no place in her heart anymore. She took the stronger charm and used it. This time, the effect was extreme. Pastor Daniel became obsessed, completely consumed. He followed her everywhere. He couldn't be alone. He watched her constantly. What people once questioned, they now admired. See love. I wish my husband loved me like this. But this wasn't love. It was bondage. One afternoon, Zainab wanted to go out alone, to breathe, to escape. But Pastor Richard refused. I'm coming with you. No, she insisted. What started as an argument quickly escalated. In a moment of anger and struggle, it happened. She stabbed him. Silence followed. Then reality. Pastor Richard was gone. In that moment, something invisible left his body. The charm. It lingered, searching, looking for another host. But there was no one else. Only Zaron. And so, it entered her. Almost immediately, she changed. She began running through the streets, screaming, confessing everything, her obsession, the charm, the destruction she caused. People gathered. Shocked. Terrified. And then she collapsed. Her story ended where her obsession began, with something she could never control. Moral lesson. Not everything that looks like love is real. Obsession can destroy both the pursuer and the pursued. Some choices carry irreversible consequences.